But thank you, Caleb, for running your mouth in the magazine for today's content. Caleb Williams, as you can see right here, Mr. Caleb Williams is on the cover of the Mavericks of Sports Esquire cover for the month of April and May 2025. Man, he had some interesting things to say about former head coach of the Chicago Bears, and that happens to be Mr. Matt Eberflus. Let's just get into some of the stuff that he said right here. We've got this first caption that says Williams appeared in the cover of the Mavericks of Sports edition of the magazine wearing a pink and maroon rugby shirt and a plaid overcoat. His comments that marked the first time he's talked publicly about the locker room's annoyance with Eberflus. Though he said at Hallis Hall 3 days after the Hail Mary loss that right in the moment you're angry, you're furious that you lost, and you lost in that way. The Bears lost 10 games in a row during rookie's William year under Eberflus and then interim head coach Thomas Brown before winning the season finale at Lambeau Field. Williams told Esquire he was so beat up mentally, physically, and spiritually by the late season losses. When I got home, I got in my bed and I just dropped a few tears, he said. How Eberflus handled at the time for the game was, I think, one of the things that throughout the locker room people talked about and were annoyed by, Williams told the magazine. The Bears fired Eberflus the next month after the late game gaffle in Detroit. The locker room was annoyed then too, with cornerback Jalen Johnson barking at the coaching staff, and Eberflus refused to take a timeout on a Cockers bar. A game that also I was waiting to get in the locker room for about 20 minutes. That's how I knew that niggas is probably in here getting pressed. In the cover, Williams also said in the magazine that he hopes the struggles that the Bears endured last season will help him this year. I quote said, I think those losses were pretty important for me and my growth. Williams told the magazine to go on a losing streak, to be in this position and to be at the helm of it was just definitely important for me. Just being able to see how I need to be when times are bad. I'm going to work my tail off to never be in this situation again. As for Williams' new head coach, he said the plan for his parent with Ben Johnson is to go win big. So once again, that is Caleb Williams in this month's Esquire cover. That is the Mavericks of Sports edition. Bang, what you think about what we heard from QB1 here? You gonna play the Jeopardy music?
No, I had to think about what I had to think about what I was gonna say before I say it. This ain't the time to be talking like that. Only thing, this ain't the time. You did not have a good season, or the season did not go the way that it was planned. So don't get me wrong. Everything that was said, we know. But you coming out on the cover story about and talking about this and knowing that you're in the third biggest market and you be in that LA lot and all of those things, it makes it seem like, or it will be made seem like, it would be made to be seen that you are throwing people under the bus and you didn't have the season that you were supposed to have. You were not able to lead the team to the playoffs. Now, again, everything he's saying, we know. This is common knowledge. I just hate that it came out before the season when you have a lot of proving to do yourself. And if you do not prove, if you do not improve, then these words are going to come back to haunt you. I got faith in him. Don't get me wrong. Got faith in Caleb. It's just that it puts more pressure on you than it needs to be. I would have rather this came out after the coming season, after we've seen the success that I believe that we're going to see. But it just comes off like he's throwing the coach up under the bus, and it comes off as him being extra emotional, which this was a thing that people wanted to make sure that they hold against him before he was even drafted. He talking about he went home and got to his knees and cried and all of that shit. I want to hear that shit. No, I want to hear about how you if anything, I want to hear about how you prepared to improve this season. I don't give a fuck about Flus. I don't give a fuck about Waldron. I don't even give a fuck about Thomas Davis. I don't give a fuck about nobody on that coaching staff. anything that I hear from Caleb Williams, it should be, for me, should be how he plans on improving this season with Ben Johnson. All of that stuff is in the past. Keep it there.
Dante, this is a bad look for QB1.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it because I agree with what he was saying. It's the same way, but I gotta remember I was the same one when it came to Justin that like a lot of the excuses, when the excuses are factual, I don't mind you saying it. Like it's one thing if you leaning on it to match your bullshit play, but I mean he still had one of the best seasons we've ever, well, the best rookie Bears quarterback season ever. I know the bar is in hell, but he had a season given everything that was thrown at him that I can take from a rookie and somebody that we knew was going to go through some growing pains. And as far as throwing Flus under the bus, I'm kind of with you when it's like, so what? Like in the same vein of you saying, fuck Flus, I don't care about Flus. I don't care if he's saying negative things about him because we saw it on the field. We saw the results of what Flus was doing. So for him as a quarterback to say it, I know it might be one of those moments where it's right message, wrong messenger. Because, like you said, you want your quarterback to be locked in and just focused on improving and everything we have to do. But I'm also, as much as I want people to just play, I've stopped being a real big fan of like the corny. It's kind of you basically, man. I'm not saying you doing this, but I feel like a lot of people want Caleb to be like Russell Wilson. And we've sat here for years and watched y'all clown Russell Wilson for being a by the book, I just want to lead my team kind of guy. Not saying that's what you're doing, but that's why I think that's what
Yeah.
some people are trying to do with Caleb. Because it's like he has a personality, he's gonna show it, and he's gonna speak. That's what he's done the entire time, is speak his mind, and I'm cool with it. So I think it's just another example of the dysfunction that we saw as fans was being felt in the locker room, and it's why the fucking coach got fired in the first place.
Yeah, I'm cool with it when you win though. Like that's my thing. Like it's still things that he need to work on and stuff like that. And this even we talked about when it comes to like what Ryan Post said, like he needs to lock in. He was not his best himself. When you hear that from your GM and then you hear this, it's like, man, I know it and I'm with you, but it's like, all right, let's get this, let's improve under Ben, and then you can say, this is what I dealt with my rookie season. This is what I have now, and I'm and this is great. Like I don't mind him saying it. It's just to me bad timing considering some of the things that has been said about him last season. And then I'm not saying that this is a prove it season. I'm not gonna do the ESPN joints and say that this is a prove it thing, but he still has things to prove. If he comes out this season and he I don't want to say lays an egg, but shit, if he had the same season he had last year, then people gonna be looking at those quotes and that's going to make it harder for him. But again, he was right in his assessment. He was 100% right in his assessment. I just feel like we're probably a year away from him being able to say that, and also the league being able to take that seriously. But he was 100% right, and I can't be mad at that.
I think y'all both bring up good points. I'm kind of like, I don't give a shit. And this is why. If Caleb was the only one who felt this way, I would look at it a lot more different. Like, all right, nigga, you running your mouth, you're doing a lot. Yeah, by Bears standards, he had a pretty solid rookie campaign. But like there was ups and downs. It was a typical rookie season. If he didn't come in with as much hype as he came into, I think we would look at that season a lot differently. And especially if Jay Daniels didn't have the season he had where he was killing it and took his team one half away from the damn Super Bowl. But the reason I don't care because I was with this team all season. That was everybody were saying these things. So if this was something where he's just being the quarterback who's running his mouth too much, who does he think he is? No, nigga. When Jalen Johnson almost knocked this nigga out. Like this team couldn't stand Matt Eberflus. If this was midseason, I think I'd have more of an issue about like let's stay focused. You got the Vikings coming up this week. You got the Niners coming up this week. Why are you doing interviews midseason? This offseason, he was out in I think he was in I don't know, somewhere out the country because he's with his girlfriend in whatever country she's from. So I don't really care that much about it. It's not like to me he really threw Eberflus under the bus. This isn't anything that if you followed the Bears that you haven't heard in the last 3 seasons, even before Caleb got here. We were hearing these things about Matt Eberflus. So I didn't have a problem with that. I do, yeah, Ben, you're right. There is a lot of pressure on him, but I don't think a magazine adds more pressure. Caleb is the first NIL quarterback. There's already an immense number of pressure. You got the coach who he's wanted, the coach who the front office is running, and the coach who the fans have running for the last 2 seasons. If he goes out there and he huffs it up or he's okay, he's gonna get murdered regardless. And I don't even think we'll be thinking about Esquire cover. So I think both y'all are right. I think both y'all are right. I just personally, I don't care that much. I just feel like you're either gonna play or you're not. I don't think a magazine quote's gonna affect how you're gonna play on the field. But to me, he was just saying what the locker room said. If it was an individual thing, I'd say, yeah, he doing a lot. And as far as the emotional thing, yeah, you're right. People say, oh, he's crying. But that's just how these era kids are. They're more emotional, and that's just how these type of niggas are. So, and yeah, I do want to see him step up more. But to me, this is just the process of stuff that comes with having I'm not going to call him a superstar yet because he's not that, but a famous quarterback. The Bears have a famous quarterback. And that's just what I think comes with that. So catch I'm Not Gonna Hold You, hosted by Scott Lewis every Monday and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, only on HNB Media and the Barbershop Network.